To the chicken coop is what I want. So Jonathan and his buddy Eden is going to feed the chickens some ramen noodles. It's one of their favorites, I found out. And you can hear the rooster. So here's what's been done so far. Come on guys, lead the way. Smokey can go in with you. Go ahead and Smoke. Let him in. Alright. Now I'll put it over there on the compost. Put it on top. John, what'd that say? Smokey, let the chickens have that. Come over here and sit down. Come here. They're a little nervous. Probably because Smokey's out here. Huh, Smokey? Did you scare the chickens? I'll show you what's going on so far. They got their first mealworm treat today. I put it in here, and that's some of the oatmeal that I'd ground up. They're liking that too. I added some oyster shell, crushed oyster shells in a little thing inside here, so they can have that free choice. Since they all should be laying soon, right girls? May need a little extra calcium. That's what the oyster shell is all about. This area over here has been fenced off. It's not electrified, but they don't fit through these holes anymore since they've gotten so big. And I put a cover crop of a mix of rye, crimson clover, and I think maybe some kind of peas. Winter peas are in there. And so that should make a really good, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's a really good cover. You can see the rye coming up. And there's actually buckwheat. I had buckwheat here all year, so it reseeded itself, so a lot of buckwheat's coming up too. Sunflowers. Chickens love the sunflowers. They just kind of sit under there in the shade, and they get a little protection from hawks or anybody coming from dive bombing on them, so they feel kind of safe under there. And then this is grain sorghum all down the side here. I had tried to plant sunflowers up and down the side, and every time I planted them, flock of doves came and ate every seed I put in the ground, so I just switched to grain sorghum, and then I planted these sunflowers late, and I had them covered with a cloth just until they got germinated and growing pretty good, and then I took the cloth off. Bees are busy, even though there was a swarm about 3 weeks ago, but as you can see, they're really still a lot of bees working, coming and going out of this place. Hopefully they'll get their new queen going. I did not put a queen in, I'm just hoping they made one. So here's the chicken coop. Y'all can go back if you don't want to be, I mean, it's up to you, but you guys are doing good. These take Smokey out, maybe the chicken of the week. This is where the nest boxes are, so I need to put my water down. You can just open this up and get in here. I had a lot of straw in here. Looks like I took it out. Trying 2 different styles, those individual boxes on that side, and then I'm just got one big wide open nest over here. I want to see what they prefer when they do start laying. The straw in there is just something I found. There was an article in the paper about a guy growing rye and harvesting, and he was going to bale up the straw after he harvested all the rye for grain. So I drove by there and just kind of gleaned some straw off the side of the road there next to the where his combine or his hay baler didn't get it. That's it, my big giant compost pile. All the stuff on top of it right now is from the buckwheat. It was, I'd never grown buckwheat like that. I think I had one little box when I was in the city of buckwheat just to see what it was like, and I wasn't too impressed, but man, it did a great job covering up this ground out here, kept the weeds down. The chickens loved it, the bees loved the flowers, and the chickens loved out there eating the seeds once it went to seed and just being underneath them too, kind of like I do with the sunflowers over there. I don't know why this guy's crowing so much. I don't know if my neighbors appreciate that as much as some people do. But got a lot of salvia, black-eyed Susan, I don't know what all out here. Some kind of different pollinator-friendly bushes and stuff that I bought and trying to get them. The reason this place looks so messy, I had this great idea of putting paper, like construction paper that you see when people are working in a house. They put it down so guys won't tear up the floor. So I put that down and I mulched it, and the chickens came out the same day, as soon as I got through, scratched through it, tore all the paper up and made a big mess. So that didn't work, so I won't do that again. But anyhow, got electric fence, 4 wires around this place, pretty nice. It is not intended to keep the chickens in. It's to keep all the predators out, such as neighbors' dogs, coyotes, foxes, I don't know what else we got around here, bears, anything that might want to eat a chicken. I don't know if you can see it, but it's hard to get an angle. Let me see if I can find a better angle on this. Put a solar panel. I was just messing around. I thought, well, that'd be fun. To get out here where you can see. So, still not a great angle, is it? But I got a solar panel tied to one marine battery in here. I'll show you that. So I built a little box here in here. So, as you can see, I just have this one battery in here. And I got a fence charger from Walmart, wasn't too expensive. Got a solar panel gizmo here that keeps track of, charging and stuff for me, so I know what's happening. And I made this little bus so I can do different things, so I can power different stuff. So this is just a scrap wood cabinet I built. But you can see I got a light, so I can come in here at night. Got some ventilation. I got a indoor-outdoor thermometer in here, so the chickens will know if it's hotter inside or outside, which rarely too much difference is there since so much screen door. I got a beautiful leaded glass, faceted glass window here. Have a little chicken door here that I lock up every night, unlock in the morning. Another chicken door here once they're in their roost area. Water here. I have free choice feed bucket here, holds 15 pounds. That keeps them going 3 or 4 days, I think. There's the free choice on the extra calcium they get from the crushed up oyster shells. And they just got a little run that they can go underneath, and then they got a roosting area in here. I'll go in from the back side, but you can see from here, here's those nest boxes. And I actually have a little platform they can walk in front of it, and up here is where they roost at night. And I actually use this for a little storage. I probably want to build something on the outside soon, take care of stuff like that. Okay. I was experimenting with water when we had some 90-degree weather here for a while, and the chickens, I didn't want them to get stressed, so I played around with making a bucket water that has these little nipples on it that I can get a drop or two. Thing's very efficient, but I found my chickens aren't crazy about it. It may be because they got other choices. This is some kind of grass that was growing where Nathan and I cleaned up a bunch of trees that was underneath there, and I thought, well, I'll try that. I've been trying to get something growing here. This is about the only thing I don't know if you can tell, but they plucked or pruned all of that stuff for me. Had this load of sand I've been spreading around. This is the back door. I've got to build doors here to shut in the winter time, but for now they don't need it. And then up here, I don't know if you notice on the other end, motion sensor. That's run off that battery too. Again, that's pretty handy when I come here at night. But here's the inside. I mean, it's pretty simple. I'd like a chance to do this again. I don't know if I'll ever build another chicken coop, but I've got some ideas of things I'd rather do differently, which I think is pretty normal. Every time I build something, I think of better ways to do it. But this is going to have to last. I don't think my wife wants me buy any more chicken coop lumber. But this is it. I don't know. I found these 2 blue barrels when I was up going hiking to Vermont. As a little farm on the side of the road right before I crossed over from New Hampshire, and guy had a bunch of barrels out front selling them for 10 bucks a piece, so I bought them. I don't know what to do with them yet. I was thinking about making a rain barrel, but I got to put gutters on the thing to do that, so I haven't got around to that. I did use one of them to kind of flatten out the ground, you know, as a lawn roller. That was pretty tough work because, well, it's hard pushing a barrel full of water around, especially on a hillside. Got a few fruit trees, not positive I'm happy where I planted them, but that's where they are right now. May try to move them in the winter or, you know, fall or something. Put them more outside of this area and just use this area for more annuals and bushes and stuff, even though I'm sure the chickens would appreciate a fruit tree or two. That's it for now. And I'll show you my berries that I got going here. Butch and Bonnie gave me the beehive, which we're not going to get but about a jar of honey out of this year, but hopefully next year something will happen. We'll get that going. This was all grapes before we came. They'd pulled all the grapes up and left the trellises, and so Butch gave me a bunch of raspberries. I had given him some about 20 years ago. Maybe some of these were mine once upon a time, and I put those in here. A few of them didn't make it, but most of them are growing. They'll be good next year. And then I bought some blackberries. I hadn't done a lot of blackberry growing up here in New England, and so that's what I use this rope for. Hadn't decided what's going to be in this rope. Maybe more blackberry, maybe more raspberries. And this is, you can see up here, these are blueberry plants. So these small ones I bought were 1 year old plants I bought from the same nursery I got the blackberries from. I think it's called Norse Nursery in Western Mass. Robin had bought 3 bigger plants thinking they would be ready for the boys this year, but you know, it takes a little bit longer. That's that. This flat area here is where I had thought about building a shed for the garden, and then found out that it has to be 50 feet from the road according to this town's bylaws, so I'm going to put it in a different place. Hold on.